Welcome to It Takes Two. I'm Blair.
I'm Chris.
And today we'll be talking about Big Brother Season 27, Episode 5.
I need you to subscribe, like, share, comment, all the above. Again, just to let you know, any newcomers, thank you for the new subscribers. We are not doing the daily feeds. We are doing the actual episodes. You ready, Blair?
I'm ready.
Let's go.
Zay left and Zach is breaking down. Rachel is sitting pretty.
Of course.
Kelly's main target is Rachel this week. Because of that, she voted to get Amy out. Riley actually evicted Zay, and he told Amy that she had his vote. So he wants to be on the side of a strong competitor, which is Rachel. So he decided to keep Amy in the game.
Yeah.
He ends up telling Rachel and Ashley that he did vote for Zay to go out, and he just asked for his safety.
Yeah. And I like the fact that I do appreciate y'all comments, and I agree with someone that left a comment agreeing with what I said. I think in the beginning, too much gameplay. You get what I'm saying? I think we need to prove that we are a good house guest and put our equity in being, likable and being a house guest. That's why I'm off the Ashley train, because what she did on the first time that she was in the house for the first week or the first couple of days or hours even, it's like, oh, that's not a likable thing. I don't want to be friends with somebody who would do something like that. So, yeah, that's the gameplay everybody should be invested in.
Yeah, so people are trying to account for who voted for Zay to go home. The ladies know that Kelly most likely voted for Amy to go home. Keanu doesn't believe Will voted to keep Zay, but of course we know Riley is the one who actually flipped.
Exactly.
So Keanu is going around telling folks that Will was the flipper, and Adrian ends up telling Will that Keanu said you flipped.
Now stop right there. Why do you feel the need to tell everybody anything?
And that's my thing with Keanu. I was actually disappointed in this gameplay because I think that he could be such like a competition beast. I think that he could probably be good socially. He's a good looking guy, maybe get a couple showmances going, but he's moving around very sloppily. Yeah. And I really don't think that he needs to be sitting here. Of course, everybody's counting the votes. Everybody's trying to figure it out, but you don't need to be the one to say, hey, Will's the one. Yeah. You don't have to be that person. You already have it out with Jimmy. Focus on that. Don't add people to the list.
And look, and we go see how much that serves you having it out with Jimmy basically throughout this episode. The reason why I brought up that comment about gameplay is, matter of fact, let me ask you this question, Blair.
Sure.
Zay got eliminated. He got voted out. How much does Zay matter to the house?
Not at all.
So why does it matter who flipped?
Yeah.
Like let's say Will did flip.
And my thing is, you guys are so early in the game. You have to know these early alliances aren't meant to stand the test of time. Exactly. You need to find one person who you really believe you can get to the end with, and these alliances are going to shift and move throughout the whole season.
And that's what I'm saying. Zay, even though he was the first one gone and things of that nature, and there's some things that came out on the live feed, he said some inappropriate words and things like that. He doesn't matter to the overall game of Big Brother. He wasn't like a big game player that he got eliminated like in week like later on in the season to where it's like, who got rid of basically? Zay wasn't backdoored.
Yeah.
So why is this basically being done for someone that wasn't backdoored? He was voted out. Let's keep going.
So Will ends up grabbing Kelly, and Kelly confirms what Adrian said about Keanu throwing his name out there. Adrian tells him to just keep it cool. Use it as information. Don't, go out here and flipping out. That's going to put a bigger target on your back. Yep. Just win the HOH. That was great advice.
Perfect advice, actually.
Zach is brought into the conversation, and he doesn't trust Keanu. And the Burger Boys are being ripped apart.
Oh, well, okay. Sure.
So an alarm goes off in Hotel Mystere, and it's been broken into. The safes are open and empty. We get a BB police bulletin, and we learn the mastermind broke in, stole the HOH key and 3 mystery powers. Okay. So in this HOH, they have to scour the sewers to find the HOH key and the powers. The sewers are going to be pitch black, full of counterfeits, and they have to put the correct power or key into the dumbwaiter. If it's correct, it will go up, and then you win that item.
Okay, it's a fun game.
Vince will get to compete, but he cannot win HOH.
Yes.
So Keanu finds a power. After Keanu finds a power, he grabs Zach to take Zach somewhere to look for something else because he wanted Zach to end up finding something as well. Rachel finds a power, but she switched it out for the bigger piece, so she ended up not getting the power at the end of it.
Yeah.
Jimmy was the one who found the HOH key, and Jimmy took it upon himself to just, sit around beside where all of the dumbwaiters were, so that way he could try to peep and scope out who is actually getting the powers. And I was like, that's smart.
No, he is smart.
That was very smart.
He is smart. Now, what he did previously in the last episode wasn't smart to me, with the whole, being all loud and basically having his little moment and things like that.
Yeah.
That wasn't smart. But in this gameplay, in the game, that was very smart of him.
Yes. So Mickey is moving around. Apparently, she speaks and Zach hears her, and then the dumbwaiter goes up. So he does think that it's possible Mickey could have a power because he heard her voice and then the dumbwaiter moved.
Nice.
Jimmy actually helps Kelly put her power into the dumbwaiter, and he actually could feel it because he was helping her, and he knows that it was in the shape of a veto. Ooh. So I'm just like, Kelly, you're too trusting of these people. She's too trusting.
And mind you, just to give y'all some insight, right? Kelly is the one that want to introduce heavy gameplay in the first week. In the first couple of episodes, talk about use me as a pawn.
Yeah.
Use me as a pawn. Well, guess what? You're being used as a pawn right now. That's literally what you're being used as a pawn, because you thinking by teaming up with Vinny, is his name?
Yes.
That you know what? We gonna be in game. But whole time you're being used literally in the game to help someone else's game, and she don't even understand that.
Yeah, and I do think that when it comes to Kelly and this whole pawn situation, people are going to start to catch on that every time Kelly's on there, she's never the target.
She's never going home.
But everybody just puts her up there as a placeholder. So clearly she's forming some type of connections with these HOHs. These people aren't, I don't think most of these people are dumb. I think they're going to be able to catch on to that. But at the end of the day, I mean, Kelly did win a couple of things, so they should be mindful of that.
I think in this moment, Kelly, you should just focus on being in the shadows. Just don't be in no one's way.
Yeah. So Jimmy, after the game, Jimmy won HOH.
Yes,
he's trying to figure out who has the other two powers because he already knows Kelly has one. Keanu and Mickey lie to him and tell them that they don't have the powers.
Nice.
But Jimmy is telling everybody, once I find out, you're going to be put on the block because you're lying to me.
Ooh. Don't lie to Mr. James, okay?
And that's why I'm thinking Jimmy's playing too hard.
Yeah.
He's acting like he's running the house, and people are going to get tired of that quickly.
And that's why I said, are you a man of your word? Because what was Jimmy's first thing that he said when he came into the house, basically in his confessional to us? You get what I'm saying? Why is Rachel here? And things like that. Now that you actually got some power and we see what power does to somebody, now all of a sudden you basically walking around with your hands basically pointing at everybody like whoever got the power, you will automatically be on the block. And I'm just like, Jimmy, are you going to actually follow through with the plan that you initially said before you got into it with John Wick, before you got into it with everybody else and things of that nature? But besides here's the thing about it. Many times in life, I learned this from a mentor, that, hey, the path to your goal, it can be a straight line, but life, it would take you on detours. It could take you through deaths. It could take you through, school. It could take you through all these things. And it's your job to, when you go through that detour, is to get back on the straight and narrow path as quick as possible. And I just want to know, Jimmy, are you going to get back on the straight and narrow path as quick as possible and say what you was going to say, or do what you said you was going to do in getting Rachel out the house? That's all I want to know.
Yeah. Well, we learned Keanu's power is the mystery competitor. So pretty much when he finds himself on the block and he has the opportunity to double his chances to win the veto. There will be a competitor who will be a former Houseguest who will get to compete in the veto in order to try to win and give it to him. And that's a pretty good power, but it also depends on who are they actually going to bring in.
Yeah, I actually like the power. I actually like that power a lot because I play a lot of games and stuff like that. So I'm like, okay, that's good. They may bring Zay back. Who knows? You get what I'm saying? that would suck, right?
That would suck.
You know what I mean? Who knows?
Keanu and Kelly tell each other that they have powers.
Yeah.
Kelly says she doesn't mind if he tells people because she was bad about hiding her power. And Keanu's pretty much like, okay, but don't tell nobody that I have a power. Okay. Kelly ends up telling Jimmy that she told Keanu she has a power, And she didn't tell him that Keanu told her about his power. But Jimmy's already putting the pieces together. Well, why would she go out of her way to tell him that she has a power unless he has a power?
And Kelly, that's why you are a bad game player.
Yeah,
you're a very bad game player. You didn't even have to offer that information, to be honest.
She's just talking too much.
Because at the end of the day, he knew you had a power. So at the end of the day, you didn't see. The thing about it is, you make yourself a target by trying not to make yourself a target. But how about just don't be a target? He knew you had a power. He helped you. You get what I'm saying? So in this moment, no one is not suspicious of you of anything. You are making yourself basically. I think Kelly thinks of herself as a big game player, and in that she's making all the mistakes. If she just would have laid back, she wouldn't have even been on the block, in my opinion. Because at the end of the day, he said, if you lied to me about having a power, I'm automatically gonna put you on the block. Kelly, you haven't lied to anybody. But now that you over here having this conversation, telling Jimmy like, oh yeah, I basically just told him that I had a power. Now it's like, I feel like you omitting to me, and now you putting too much heat on your back.
Yeah. So we learned that Kelly's power is the mystery veto. She has the opportunity to change nominations after the veto meeting. So she will have a solo mystery veto competition. If she wins, she can get a second veto, and that can be used to save herself or to save an ally for that week.
Ooh, now here's the thing about that power, and I want to know about your opinion on this. That's a power that can save you in the moment, but that can hurt you literally the next week.
Exactly.
You get what I'm saying?
When it comes time for HOH.
Yes, it's almost like a curse in a way. It's almost like, hey, do you save an ally to make it known that y'all are in alliance? And yes, you survived that week, but now you put the pressure on yourself to one of y'all have to win HOH.
You have to.
You get what
because
I'm saying?
both y'all going up next
exactly.
week.
So
and your power's already used, so we know you're not going nowhere.
So that's like a power that comes with like a but.
Right.
You know what I mean? You could get eliminated next week. So I don't really like that power that much.
Mickey tells Morgan that she has a power, and Mickey's power is HOH interrogation.
Ooh, let's see what that power is.
So she can dethrone the HOH, and the remaining HOH can interrogate everyone in the house. Then they'll have to guess who they believe dethroned them. If they get it right, they get to be HOH. If they don't, then Mickey will get to be HOH for that week.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I'm not against this power.
It's a very, like she said, it's high risk, high reward.
It's very high risk.
Because if they guess it right, then automatically you're getting put on the block.
And you're gone.
If there's an opportunity, if a veto or whatever is used, you're automatically put up there. But if you end up being HOH, that person will still know by the fact that you are now HOH this week. And if given the chance, if they can play HOH the next week and they win, or one of their allies win, you're going up the next week.
But here's the thing about it though. The only way this power works perfectly is if they can interrogate, and then the person that they basically, once they expose that they are like to do HOH that week, that person got to get eliminated that week previously.
Yeah, they have to get that HOH out.
They have to be gone.
The previous one,
yes,
right.
Yes.
Jimmy doesn't trust Keanu, and he wants to know how other people feel about him. So he's basically holding court in his HOH room talking to folks, and he tells them, I want to put Keanu up, and everyone here needs to vote him out.
Whoa.
I'm like, Jimmy,
okay, James,
you sound real strong in the voice right now. And the thing is, people will go with it for now because they're not your target. But when tides turn, you're probably going to be at the top of the list because of how you handled them.
And not probably. You will. People just don't want to be like, I don't like it. What season was that? I think it wasn't the season that we watched last year. It was the season before last when we first started doing Big Brother and nobody was watching, as nobody's watching now, right? It was something like that happened. I forgot the names, to where it's like, you know what, we being told what to do, and I don't want to be told what to do and things like that. Like, people want to think for themselves.
Yeah.
People want to have their own game. So when you come in that strong saying we need to, or you need to basically vote him out, it basically be like, oh, if you feel like you can tell us what to do this time, then you go basically tell us what to do every time, and we usually get that person out the house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, Jimmy's talking to Kelly, and he tells her he's considering putting her up as a pawn. He also wants to flush these powers out. So pretty much, I need to get these people to use these powers and hurry up and get them to use them, so that way it can be clear sailing the rest of the time.
Yeah.
And Kelly agrees to be a pawn.
Again, Kelly? I think at the end of the day, I think Kelly, you go realize that being a pawn for multiple people go basically mean that you have no alliance with anybody,
right?
And that's going to basically hurt your game, and we just gonna get you out.
Yeah.
Because dude, you know what's gonna happen? There's gonna come a time to where there's gonna be two other people who's on the block who we really don't want to leave, whose game really gonna be like, you know what, it's gonna benefit me to save this person. So Kelly, sorry, you gotta go.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm like, Kelly, being a pawn for everybody is not gonna help your game.
No. So Jimmy approaches Adrian to put him up as a potential pawn, and Adrian would prefer not to.
Yeah.
So we get to nominations, and our nominees are Kelly, Adrian, and Keanu.
I was very disappointed by these nominations. Were you, Blair?
I was, because I think that Jimmy lost the plot.
Yes, he did.
Rachel is a strong competitor, but because he's working with her or cool with her for the moment, he is no longer going after her. When it comes to Keanu apologized to you about throwing your name out there, and now he's on to Will.
Yeah.
So what threat is Keanu to you really at this point?
He's not.
You know? So
I was very disappointed because this lets me know that the loudest one in the room is really the weakest one in the room. And Jimmy was really the loudest one, the one that actually put voice to our thoughts as the viewers of why are we basically following behind Rachel? Why are we basically sucking up to Rachel? Why are we not ganging up on Rachel and getting her out? And now Rachel gave you one hug and smiled at you, and now all of a sudden Rachel's your little girlfriend and things of that nature, to where you know what, we cool now, we all buddy, and now a time to where you can actually use your influence and use your HOH power to actually hold court and say, you know what, we need to get Rachel out because there's really no benefit of her being here. There's literally no benefit, except for the one guy go stand up and say, she folded my clothes. But other than that, there's no benefit, right? It will make sense of that. But whole time, you want to hold court to get John Wick out.
But just to play devil's advocate. Do you think that it's smart for Jimmy to keep Rachel in, being how the last votes went and how much power and influence she had when it came to the votes? Do you think it would have been a waste for him to try to get her up, and maybe people wouldn't want her to leave just yet?
Here's my thing, and I see your point, but I'm saying this. I'm not so much on the nominations outside of having John Wick on there. I'm just like, okay, if you want to get John Wick out, cool, right? But my problem with this is there was no comments and no conversations about Rachel at all. Yeah. About being a threat this episode.
As a potential
So
or anything.
Even if I don't nominate her this time, I need to plant the seed to where, hey, if I don't nominate her this time, I need that seed to marinate to where, you know what? Like, what do you think about Rachel being here?
She got a little too much pull, don't you feel like?
You feel like? No, like, she's not a threat, but, basically get people to start seeing it. And then when nominations come up, you know what? You may not go for her now because right now you don't have the solid votes because right now, because you just started to plant the seed. But I didn't even see enough seed planting to get Rachel out. I really don't see the benefit of Rachel being in the house. I really don't. You get what I'm saying? So that's what my problem is. It just seems like, hey, you had this whole blow up with John Wick. I love calling him John Wick. You had this whole blow up with John Wick. Then y'all have this whole come to Jesus moment privately just for you to flip back and basically go on and basically say, you know what, I want him out the house. I'm like, you are too distracted in my opinion.
Yeah, so during Jimmy's speech, he says Keanu threw other house guests under the bus and he lied to people. And Keanu puts his sunglasses on and acts like he's asleep. Keanu was not fazed by Jimmy's antics. And honestly, I wouldn't be either. Jimmy comes across as very rehearsed.
Yeah.
And, and I think that people can tell that when you are acting with so much bravado as Jimmy is acting, it rubs people the wrong way. It just absolutely does. So yes, sure, you got the power, but they're really not feeling you though.
Yeah.
So
anything else?
That's all I got.
I need you to subscribe, like, share, comment, all the above. We see y'all.
Bye.